Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, I'm just here for a quick second. I doubt, people talk. They say second and they actually mean like half hour. Um, there's been a massive earthquake in Japan, and I don't report on the smaller quakes. Let me go right on over to the geological survey section. I don't report on the smaller quakes. Oh, wait a minute. I am not sharing my screen, and that doesn't help get my point across. So let me present that. Share screen. Yes, okay. And let's see, select Windows screen, entire screen. Thank you. And allow. Okay, there we go. And I want you to be able to see the whole thing. Yep, not just me. That's great. Let me go back over to the geological survey. It's a 7.5 quake in Anamisu, Japan, and it's only a depth of 10 kilometers, which is approximately 6 miles. That makes a vast difference in the movement of the earth. And according to, let's put that down there. Oh, I could do this. I forgot. Oh, no, I don't have to do that. This report right here, it was impactful, not in so far, because these reports later on will be updated, and I surely hope nobody lost their lives in such a horrific fashion. If you wouldn't want that to happen to you, then don't wish it to anybody else. Now, if somebody did something wrong and they're a criminal, I don't want them to die in an earthquake. I want them to receive due justice for the victims, the impact on the victims. But I'm just saying that because the satanic elites are stoking everybody to just release outrage. They need war. They need something to distract us from what the reason why I do report on the greater seemingly natural disasters is because it's a direct effect from Fukushima. And for those who are new to my channel, it's when those reactors exploded, there's a substance called corium. That is the core fuel within the reactors. It's actually the most abundant nuclear isotope there. And they, along with all the other radionuclides that were in there, melted through three of the buildings into the earth. They wouldn't stop. They would not stop at a certain section and just be like, okay, we're done. And one of the issues with radiation is it turns everything around it into more radioactive isotopes because it's bombarding everything. It is destroying the nuclear stability of whatever it impacts, and thus the entire region. And let me go on back over here. This entire region right over here, I've been noticing this is gigantic. I said, oh, that's big. And so I looked it up. But this map, it over, like right here, there's 2 Africas. So I can't get it to size. So there's just 1 Africa. But all around here, all around this region, not just the Pacific Rim, it has been popping. And it's been popping ever since Fukushima. I went to look up, that's the StreamYard. Let's go on. Oh, nope, that's coming up next. The earthquake happened at 2 a.m. New York time, because I wanted to see exactly, when it happened, and they're one day ahead. Uh, let's see. What is it that I'm looking for? Okay, this is what I'm looking for. As far as what's going on in Iceland, where these eruptions and the magma flow is unprecedented. That's why they evacuated an entire town, because there was an extra increase, just flow of the magma nearby this town. It was tearing houses apart and streets apart. And right now, this particular volcano, which erupted in one of the fissures, has slightly calmed down. But as of December 18, 23, you could see that they were quite concerned, and they called it spewing fast moving lava. That's a lot of pressure. And as it's only one planet, that pressure's not going away. It's increasing, and it just flows to other places. And I think that is an indication of where those cores have gone. And they're not, just still in one stable fashion. I'd imagine they would diffuse out, because they were melted, diffuse out in a broader range. That is going to create pressure on a closed environment inside our planet. It should be a closed environment. But this increase in tectonic activity, in volcanic activity, has been going on perceptively since Fukushima. So I've been coming here, and I always pay attention to the depth of these quakes. This is a change that I've noticed, which is that all the quakes are much shallower. When you have this much, now the US is always very, very shallow quakes. That's like 5 kilometers. So that's about, less than 3 miles. The US, it's like this whole Pacific Rim, the plates tilt up as far as their depth. And so the quakes happen right along, but they're getting shallower, because I would imagine all of this is being heavily, heavily destabilized, liquefied even. They call it liquefaction. And that's why this area here is having activity that it never had at as long as I've been looking, which is for about, I would say, 5 years, because a dear brother shared this site with me, and I go sometimes 3 times a day just to see what's happening. I've never seen such. This one's the usual depth, 176.6 kilometers. But nowadays, and this even more so. This makes me happy. When I see things normally, that's why you don't see me racing up here with every single occurrence like a chicken with my head cut off. Because I don't want this to happen. I'm affected too. You're affected. And I want to see everything. I'm hoping and praying those cores will be reabsorbed by the planet itself. There's no way. What it is that with nuclear fuel, it is pulled out from purified uranium and uranium ore naturally occurring in the planet's crust. With uranium ore, it has a high level of uranium, I do believe 230, there's like 235, 236, and so on and so forth. And I think it's 235 that stabilizes. It's a heavier type of radiation, which is so just slow to decay that it keeps all the other isotopes in check. But once they purify it and remove it, they've got the different, they call them transuranic isotopes because they are after they purify. That's what they call purification of the yellow cake. And that then permits the energy from those different isotopes that would ordinarily have been hidden to be fully released in order to reach, when they're put inside these nuclear fuel rods, the pellets, and they turn them into little pellets, and then it can reach a criticality rate. And so I've been hoping somehow or another that the planet would reabsorb the frenetic activity of these coriums. But that might not be what's happening, seeing how much just quakes are occurring all over the planet. Here in China, 5.3, I don't report on that, but it's very shallow, very shallow. So this is not something that's just possibly stabilizing and decreasing in the, chain reaction effect from what I conclude 100%. You cannot, in a closed environment, just put something so volatile as those corium were clocked going out of the bottom of those buildings at temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. You cannot put something hotter than the surface of the sun and it's going to have no effect. All right? And so I just have to share that because, these people, they have run out of time. And that gets me to the other information that I have here, up here somewhere. This report here, it is really intriguing. They had Huto police cite, this is a town in Texas, rabbits as cause for rampant crime sprees against Christmas lights. As I say, I am not in the mood for being gaslit to insanity. I always ponder whatever I see in a larger scope so that I'm not reaching paranoid conclusions. And that's why I also live the life I lead, so that the effects of these devils do not impact me as much as they would hope it is. They love reading headlines about during their orchestrated, lock everybody down thing, that, they love reading the headlines that people were suffering from, what did they call it? Like they got a fancy term where they have stress and grief. They love to read if the suicide rate is going up, which it is. And also the murder rates are going up. And when I look at those headlines, I'm like, people, when they leave comments over these folks killing their whole families, just in New York, there was Massachusetts, police sergeant who killed himself, his wife, and his two younger sons. Yes, I'm talking about a white man, right? Primarily is white people. They cannot handle the coming of the truth. That's what the apocalypse is. Well, it makes the elites jump for joy to see the increased rates of suicide and obviously murder, because they keep pushing the whole purge mentality. They're not slowing it down. They're increasing it. They prefer everyone to become destabilized. That's why you be like Lot. Be like Lot. Be like Job, where you are not looking for vast numbers. That is a human nature to want to just assume, because we all don't want to be insane. You look at the greatest number of what people are thinking and you want to go, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're all right. No, folks are believing these liars right now. They have worked for generations to promote the completely false notion that they're the be all and end all of everything. And some people love the United States more than they love God, the creator, the one and the only themselves, because they do not actually read that Bible, right? Because they don't follow it. They don't follow it, right? And I don't want to be mean to people. But Christmas, what? What? I forget which, section it is, but no, they don't. You're not supposed to be cutting down trees from out of the forest and decorating them. That's Nimrod. Nimrod. That's the severed heads of his victims, right? That's Babylon. And so you'll see the white folks out there on their different platforms saying, oh, there's folks out there lying about Christmas because they don't love the truth. They love the lie. It makes them feel good. It shouldn't make us feel good. The truth should make us feel good. So be like Job. Don't worry about these folks. Okay? There they go. And matter of fact, don't gloat, but rejoice. That's the way the coming of the truth should make you feel. Right? And so going back to the rabbits, because what I'm saying is that they're run out of time. I'm not going to look at this rampant crime sprees and just assume that they're exaggerating. Probably people, as they saw their Christmas decorations being destroyed, assumed it was some sort of teenagers or something of like that, and so they were reporting it to the police. And now this is the truth, a lot of official organizations have been taken over by the Satanists. So it possibly, as one of the probabilities, could have been something orchestrated by the police themselves. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just noting the facts. A lot of these organizations are infested with Satanists who use that power to enact what we are seeing right now all over the daggone place. Harvard with the, what's her name? The gay chick. I'm not saying she gay, but that's her last name, supposedly. All right. I'm like, what Dr. Amos Wilson said, what Curtis, the singer, where Curtis Mayfield, where the Harvard done ruined more black people than cheap liquor. There you go. You see it in effect. Right? And so I'm just using that as part of when you're examining what's the cause of something, you got to look at the whole thing. And so rampant crime sprees, it could have been the residents or it could have been just the police officers in the middle of the night going and cutting down people's Christmas lights because whatever. I don't know what their actual motivation would be if that's the case. I'm just saying. Okay. And so what's this got to do with the volcano you might be going, or the earthquake in Japan? I'm going to show you. See here, this is a natural looking bunny. They got a picture of a cottontail rabbit. However, I first learned of this story, and I thank Dr. Shi for telling me to look up, for confirmation, other places. I first got this story from Daily Mail, and this is creepy as hell because I filmed it. I recorded it because sometimes they remove things and change the title of whatever it is that they're putting out there. Now, with Daily Mail, I've seen suspicions on my part that they know very well about my channel. These are investigative journalists, even though they put out Operation Mockingbird types of news stories. They're only going to put out what they're told to put out and what will get them money. Right? And so they could be, I'm not saying whether they are or not, they could be more than aware of my channel. I've seen more than enough proof to personally make that conclusion, where when I talked about Serena Williams being depressed, the very next day they had an article showing Serena Williams happily rolling down the stairs because she feels so happy when she's the one who said she was depressed. Okay? I kept talking about her husband. Whenever you see him in a photo with her, he's looking like he's really in agony because he has this bemused look on his face, no genuine smile. And I talked about her again. And the next day, I saw a photo, literally the next day, of him and her sitting, and he's looking directly at her. First time he ever took a photo like that. And he's got this worshipful smile. It's just gigantic on his face. And I just am like, if somebody just keeps knocking, you got to assume somebody's knocking. Right? So, and that's not the only thing I've seen from these dudes. But this wasn't something that was trying. And I don't think they're trying to talk to me specifically. Oh, no, I don't. Right? I'm just saying that they try to, they can't even afford to have Lot escape. Okay? I'm not saying I'm Lot. I'm just saying be like Lot. Right? And so when they have things like, the internet of things they used to have, and now they have another phrase that when you look at the way the abbreviation comes out, again, it says Lot. And I just look at that and I say, they know this is biblical. They it's the Satanists who are the most devoted, who know that Allah is real. They know that. They're just hoping we don't know that. They don't want us getting any truth whatsoever for as long as possible so they can reign one more day, one more hour, one more second. They know there's no hope for them. Okay? And they are committed to going down with the ship. Right? We don't have to. I'm just saying. And so Texas hit by wild acts of vandalism as bunnies go on rampant Christmas crime spree and chew up holiday decorations. This one went, I know they've got to get their viewers. Okay. Oh, I forgot. This is what I captured. And so when I scroll down, let's see if I could get this. Let's see. Okay. I don't mind playing it because it's mine. And I didn't play any video and they didn't have any video. Oh, I see. And so this was the first picture that showed up. I was like, damn, because they do these things. I showed where they had a video or a report on this Chinese goat herder. All the goats were black. All the goats were black, and he was using a megaphone to tell the black goats to be more productive. I knew that in my conclusion was instruction to all their black agents all over the world. And when they give warnings, obviously this one is a little bit more precise. They're real warnings. They love carnage. They love carnage. That's the Sister Lashid for you said the Satanists, they ain't never given up their human sacrificing, right? For them, it's just part of, that was a good sermon. Okay. And so right after that, there was a slew of black folks who just were being shot. I remember there was a pregnant sister. I very lightly call her sister, but she had a black boyfriend and she was pregnant, had a very popular YouTube channel. And in one of the videos, she was taking a bath in a tub of milk. That's a sure Baphometic sign. And that within weeks, she was dead, and baby dead too. And then after that, the boyfriend was doing this strange prancing. Oh no, it was with her. As a matter of fact, it was before she died. He was doing this strange prancing with her on a rooftop. And as he turned to the camera, there was just, like when you get that red eye in a picture, suddenly his eyes flash red. I know that was a manipulation of the cameraman or some sort of Photoshop edit in later. But I'm just saying, these folks are spooky as hell and very anal retentive and control freakdomness with lies. So they're inevitably going to get caught out there. These agents most of them, I think they didn't really realize what they were signing up for. They're just maybe in their own way, financially desperate, and it seemed like a good idea. They're not like the pure Satanists who know what they're doing. They know, like, what's his face? Stephen, who just passed, who had cerebral palsy, and he was the physicist or astronomer. I can't remember his name, but his first name was Stephen Hawking's. Okay. He said, and the Pope said, all of them kind of said at the same time, we're doomed. That's what he said. He meant white people. All right. And according to what the Most High said, that's depending on what principality they're beholding to. And so they know they're going to the antimatter, the nothingness. All right. But these agents, they don't know. They don't know. They thought it was just like, well, Jay-Z recommended this. You know, after he was dancing with not Beyonce, but his favorite witch. Beyonce, in my conclusion, is definitely a witch, but not his favorite. Otherwise, he wouldn't sacrifice his entire family. So they were listening to him, who came out saying, you know, you got to go to the Satanists. You know, you get stuff. And then they had the guy from Snowfall pretending that he got some sort of power from dropping down when he was trying to get motivation for a scene and sending a prayer to Satan. I was like, first off, how despicable is that? But I did a whole share about it, okay? So I won't go over it. But I later on, I was just thinking that you're doing something that your whole soul knows is wrong. So this is talk about earthquakes. There's a giant earthquake going on in your soul. That's what you felt. You ain't feel no power from the nothingness. It's nothing, right? That's what it says in those good books constantly. When I see people like, oh, there's witches here, and I'm like, what does that have to do with you? Nothing. Do not believe that these people have any power over you whatsoever. They don't. They don't. They don't even have power over their own actions so that they could think, you know what? Maybe we want to keep the planet stable, not have these cores barreling into the earth, which in my conclusion, that stems from the fact that Fukushima was a deliberate attack against the world. That's what the Georgia Guidestones were saying. It's going to whittle down to just 250 million people. You don't do that just by accident. Okay? The whole thing popped off 3/11/11. Them and their friggin' duplicating numbers. Okay? So all your agents, you really have no clue. The Most High is real. He's real. He said, bow down. Don't put these other, I appreciate folks who want to go for their spiritualism, but you gotta look at the facts, not your wishes. I know I respect our ancestors, but I don't call them. I don't call them because a lot of us alive are out of our minds. How in the world am I going to go searching around spiritual realms I do not begin to understand? Only the Most High does. And I'm going to go there without his guidance. How am I going to do that? Hey? And so all the folks out there, you say, don't let them make you reject your original, faith. And our original faith was Allah. It came from us, not from the Arabs. I ain't worshiping no daggone Arabs. I'd worship our ancestors first before I ever bow down to some daggone black-hating Arab. Okay? So you don't know what you done bit off. Way more than you could chew. Because I just looked at this. I was like, this is just like all their messages. And this is Christmas. And Christmas is the Satanist's favorite holiday. Okay? Because it's about satanic things. Satan claws. Okay? That's them. That's the from starting from Thanksgiving all the way to Halloween and then to Christmas. It's a satanic ritual, global, gone global, right? I'm just saying, they've run out of time. They're into these stupid nothingness antics. Let me keep on going there so I could go right there. And this was the next picture. Red, black, and green. I know it's Christmas. I know it's Christmas, but these things, if the lights have been chewed up by these rabbits, suddenly, just around Christmas, they don't go chewing up everything else. And so that people would know, all of a sudden they got red, black, and green. If the lights are chewed up, there's no electricity. How come there's red, black, and green? Right? This is also a warning, a message. They're admitting we are about stopping them waking up. I mean, you and me. That's not possible. This is the apocalypse. The one and the only's in charge. They're the nothingness. All they could do is steal stuff, build up massive resources, and pretend they're in charge when they are freaking the hell out. Henry Kissinger warned them, right? And he told them, if this is all about who is actually the best amongst races, we can't be worried about being the worst. I'm paraphrasing. I'm just saying that's what his comment meant. I could get the quote, but I'm just saying, right? These dudes have lost the gasket. Let's go on back over. Okay. Right? That's the bunny, the way it was first reported, and suddenly it got to be this white cottontail Easter bunny. What? No, that's their Zoroaster, whatever type of satanic worship. Nike, all these things, they all mean, when people, want to say this all harkens back to ancient Kemet, this all harkens back to our nature. When we can make mistakes, we can be diverted from what is the most important. But at the same time, we bring goodness and the wish for the best outcome to everything we do. Even it could be a miscalculation on our part because we weren't made to be perfect. But there's a difference between just having flaws and being evil. Okay? And so when folks say these religions, these, occultic religions go back to Egypt, yes, they do. But not the way the white people twisted them all out of shape. Christianity, look at that sucker. Okay? That has absolutely nothing to do with the Most High. Okay? I love you, but Jesus Christ, who, there was no J, right? But I'm just saying, in my conclusion, that was all based on Black men being so wise. And they just were like, well, we can't just, talk about all of them. There's like a million wise Black men, especially back in those times. We'll just make up this guy, Yahushua. Oh, no, I don't want to say these names because I'm not exactly sure of the derivation, or not the derivation. I know that that's what we called it, but I don't know if I just said the creator or if I said Jesus. So, I mean, Jesus Christ ain't make the planet, right? You gotta go to the one who is capable of making us a new heaven and a new earth, right? Because it is possible. It is possible. Where is it? Right there. That this sucker's in trouble, in deep trouble. I'm not saying panic. I'm saying rejoice. The fear of what comes after death is understandable. But at the same time, if I were in whatever, if there's a heaven somewhere, I don't believe in no heaven in the sky, that's for sure. But after we release this mortal coil, if I were already there, I wouldn't want people who panic and give up hope under any circumstances. I'd be looking for Lot. I would be like, that one right there. That's a soldier. Bring that one over here. That's what you got to do. If you have disquieting feelings, I feel for you, beloved. I surely do. But you don't have to. You exercise, you eat healthy, you pray, right? And you create in your environment, in your home, a peaceful, just harmonizing effect. Now, no matter what, you could be in a home where there's stuff happening. Stuff was happening to us about a year back. And because we were just solid, it wound up becoming a far better solution, a far better reality. Right? But I don't bring that to anybody because that's our own private life. But at the same time, even in our own private life, I rely on Allah. It says that in the Quran. Rely on Him. Take your pain, your struggles to Him, because you know He's always going to give you the right answer. The more you learn as a living being, the more of a right answer He's going to give you. And you know when you are praying, He does not countenance you just giving in to picayune, soul destructive choices. So He knows. And you just allow that the greatest wisdom there is to become your guide. And so that you make slowly, because habits, oh my goodness, habits are so addicting. Yes, they are. But He will assist you in making better choices. You know when you are doing something and it's just the wrong thing to do, right? I used to wear far more scantily clad clothing, right? I don't do that anymore. I do my best not to, but it's a habit. It's hard to break. But I know I want to be with Him. That confidence. I can't say I'm confident. I always know He's the final arbiter of everything. This is His house. Whatever He decides, that's right and exact. But at the same time, knowing at least me, am doing the best I can. Wow. That is so calming. That's so soothing. Do I wish the world was just this, picturesque perfection? No, of course. But you make your submission to Him as picturesque of perfection as you can get, and then you are already your own new heaven and earth. Okay. All right. Let me get out of here because I talked enough. I don't know if anybody came in, but if you just came in, you could listen to the first portion for my analysis on the tectonic overactivity going on right now on our planet. And just know we must scream about the hell that Fukushima fallout has brought to our beautiful earth. Good Lord. Listen to Allah, and He will guide you to know. That's what you do. All right? All right. I love you. Straight Black family pride is our map to forever. I'm sorry I didn't come to the chat if anybody's even there, but I had to just, get out of here quickly. All right. Peace and blessings, family. Let's see now. Over here. And there we go. Oh, I could quickly say greetings, Brother Adam Gidry and Sunra Shaka Shakur and Pride of Judah and McKinley Smith. Thank you, beloved. Yes, I will. And Sister Ava Marshall and Brother Kamisi Fox. It's good to see you, brother. And Shelly Kassan. All right. Let me head on out. I love you, family.